Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it's September 13th of 2022. It is, oh, you can see the time right up there. It's just about 8 a.m. in the morning. We're getting a food delivery from Walgreens, no, Walmart. I get the two mixed up. From Walmart in about an hour. Then I'll go take a nap. Been messing with the setup here. I'm using Manicam for this video. I've got two cameras going. This is the Avery Media. I'm not using the microphone on it, by the way. I'm back to using the Elgato Wave 3. And then the other camera that I've got, I'm using the Logitech Brio. Let's see if I can bring it up. And it's right over here. The microphone, as I said, is the Elgato, and I've got it in this little thing to see if it works any better. I'm going to move it over, and I bet you anything that I'm going to bring it over here. There we go. Now it's closer, and that may be better. Maybe better. Trump has been banned from the Queen's funeral. Very smart of the British to do that. You know, there is no telling what he. I mean, there's no telling what he might do. He's. Wow. I watch a lot of these people up in Utah or whatever that are towing, you know, and fixing vehicles and doing that kind of stuff. I've never been to Utah, and it looks interesting, but I think I'm too old to go there. My daughter Hillary bought some. She bought a mobile home. Of course, it was one of those places that, you know, it's a mobile home, but it's not really a mobile home. And it's about 30 minutes from here. And she's out there with her son, and she's hoping to get us moved out there, but she'll need, for the three of us, you know, she's going to need another mobile home or something on the property. I don't think we'll actually ever make it out there, but that's what her plan is. It would be good for me because I would put up an outdoor camera, and I would stream it, you know, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She's got a bobcat out there that she's so happy that she's got a bobcat out there. We're worried to death about her. She's she loves animals so much, and I don't care what kind of an animal it is. She loves it. So I don't like Dr. Oz. It looks like he's not going to do well. You know, at this point. I'm not sure where this video here is from, but it looks like it's Russian. There is a tremendous number of videos, and it's not because of the invasion of the Ukraine or anything. It appears, and of course I can't, you can't make a decision, one person or whatever, but it just appears that they have a tremendous number of children not just being taught various forms of, dance and that kind of stuff, but also that are, going to YouTube. By the way, I am a fan of, maybe that's what I should do, pull up something like this every time, well, not every time, and then put the links below to these people's sites that I like. And View of the Fifth Column is one that I like. He has, for this video, 105,000 views, and that's 4 days ago. Let's see here. This is the Morning Joe thing or whatever. Yeah, this is on MSNBC. I watched that a few times, in the past. Now here is this lawyer, Legal Eagle, is the site. He has on this video, which is from 3 months ago, 1.7 million views. He does a fantastic job of explaining, what lawyers do and all that type of stuff. Everything. He just does a really fantastic view. And the next video now this is stuff that just randomly pops up, but it pops up, I'm sure, because of, how YouTube tries to figure you out what you want, what you like, and that type of stuff. So let's see, this is a secret meeting. Breaking: Trump spotted holding secretive meeting on a golf course. I don't, no matter what they say about Donald Trump, nothing surprises me. Nothing surprises me. It's so sad for all of us that, that somebody like that could be elected, to any post. But to be elected President of the United States, and I've watched the next. Let's see here. What's this over here? Anyway, Law and Order. I think that's a really good, television show, and I watched a few, episodes of it. And I thought they were excellent. But I never stayed watching it. But the ones I watched were good. And Alex Jones, wow. What can you say? Man, what a terrible person. And over here is the Cole Clark and his quarantine kids. A nice family, and I think he's doing okay. His thing started, he's a musician, and I think before the virus, he probably doing okay, taking care of his family. He's got a boy about 10 and a boy about 9, and the girl, I think, is 6 or 7. And he's got a wife. She's behind the camera. And they, with the virus, he was that hurt his ability to work. But they were, at home, and they sent, some videos of themselves to, their family, and then I guess their family said, "Can we share these?" And then they started getting shared, and now they're, they're doing okay. What's this? Blue Shepherd has fiery engine failure. There's so many rocket launches now and so many different things that are going. I can't keep track of. Can't keep track of things. I did a space communications column back when, right after Sputnik 1 was launched, and I tracked them. With my shortwave radio, I tracked them. I'd fall asleep with my headphones on. When Explorer 7 would come around, it would wake me up and stuff. I really enjoyed the shortwave radio, the shortwave listening, but back then, tube radios and dials that you never knew exactly where. Of course, there was ways we tried to figure out crystal calibrator that would give us a signal every so far, and then we could figure out and different things. But now things are so much better. Except I can't afford those high-powered. Well, I could, if I wanted it, instead of buying a new computer or a tablet or I could afford it, but they're expensive. And there's so much QRM out there, Wi-Fi signals, and just so much. That's why it would be nice to be moved out where Hillary is. It's out, small town. Like I said, I'd put up a camera, and I'd put up a ham radio antenna, and I'd have a repeater. I think I'd probably put up I couldn't afford a repeater, but I'd put up something, on a very small scale. Here's more, looks like Russian, talking about, it says playback is unavailable. I don't know what that means. Well, I know what it, I guess, means. Let's see, here's Princess Anne, the daughter who should be queen. Here's Mr. Beast, who talks about how to get more views, I guess. And I guess that works because he has 364,000 views. Here's some more of the Russian stuff. They just have a tremendous amount of this stuff. I'm not sure that if that's because of their, ballet being so important in Russia and that type of stuff. Here's more of Matt. He says, "Don't get scammed. Criminals have stolen our logos, and then they're trying to reach out to you in every possible way." It's too bad that something could not have been done a while back to make security and everything, different, and it could have been. I've talked about that, but I think I was the only one United States or the world who was interested in, and it would be so nice if you could just, you didn't have to put up with the stuff, but here's a guy that has a nice site. He's a 740 or 774, whatever aircraft that is. He's a pilot for a commercial airline, and he talks about, airline flying and all this kind of stuff. Shows things. Does a really good job. Apparently, from watching his, oh, you can't see. I'm sorry. I think I've never. Maybe there should be some way that when my mouse moves, then, yeah, he mentions quite often that I think there's a whole bunch of people who believe that he's not a pilot, and they call him out. He is a pilot. I forget the airlines. Here's something I haven't checked yet. Department of Justice calls his bluff. Breaking news. Trump's special master selection backfires after what? After stunning Department of Justice firing. More of, this is a different trail master. Trail Mater, I guess. He's up there in Utah, I believe, also. My stomach is growling. But it's 8:16, and let's see, what have I got coming today? Got ice cream coming. That might not be a good idea for breakfast. Let's see. King Charles III is visiting Northern Ireland. The David Pakman show. He's a liberal. Does YouTube videos, and a whole bunch of these people, they appear on so many different networks. And he does a good job. He gets a lot of hate, but from people. Here's more. It must be that it's, when I go over it says playback unavailable. It must be because of they need to go to large size. I'm guessing, because I haven't had any problem watching anything. I think I saw this. This is from the American Veterans Center, I believe. There are a number of, I don't know how many, places that interview people in order to save, their perspective and what they saw and all that type of stuff. And, it started a long time ago. After the Civil War, some groups went out and, found slaves and interviewed them. And also there's veterans, are being interviewed, performers and all that type of stuff. I think that's pretty neat to collect that information. And I think I saw this. Well, I've seen some I know from the American Veterans Center. Pretty sure. Top songs of 1963. Anybody remember what they'd be? you know. I'd been out of high school for a few years. I graduated in '59, so that would have been my music, but I couldn't tell you what. I'm a fan of the Young Turks, and you know, they're a liberal site. Let's see. Let's see, this is Star Trek. I guess it's Strange New Worlds. I think I may have watched a few of those. It says it's season 2. Here's another one of these guys from Utah. Fab Rats. This video has 1.7 million views. I think that's it. I think I better get ready for the food that should be here in about, let's see, what time is it? Should be here in about 30 minutes. Thank God, you know, nowadays that you can get stuff, you know, delivered to the door. We don't have a car at all. None of us have a driver's license. We wouldn't be able to afford a car. I mean, if we were given a car, if we want a car on, well, if you want a car on one of these, you know, TV shows or something, you have to pay sales tax on it. And we wouldn't be able to come up with the sales tax. And if we were given, if somebody gave us, you know, a car, and the sales tax could be paid, we wouldn't be able to afford to have the thing, you know, we wouldn't be able to afford the insurance for it, necessary maintenance and whatever. We're poor. If you're outside the country, yes, there are Americans who are poor. I get Social Security and a small pension, a very small pension for, let's see, 18 years of security working for one hospital system. But the various hospitals that I worked at, 2 or 3 of them, I paid into what do they call it? And that, you know, like an investment plan or whatever. And then when I quit the hospital, each one, you know, I cashed that in to buy computer stuff. So I would be in much better shape if I had not done that. And I went to Catholic schools, grade school and high school. And, you know, then I went to real estate school, graduated. Went to the police academy. What else? Well, welding school. I never, of course, I don't think it would have helped. I never really got any education on, well, like maybe I should have with real estate school, or did, at least about making, you know, closing things, and just to be a real estate broker, you know, and I passed the graduation test, but I didn't go and take the state test. I would have passed in Jefferson City because I didn't want to do real estate. Anyway, I'm not the only one. I'm not sure about other countries. Well, I'm sure it's better. I think it's pretty rare unless you go like to a community college or something, and then take economics or bookkeeping. Well, I took bookkeeping in high school, But as far as savings and doing all that kind of stuff, that's something really. I think what they should do, here in the United States is, I think high school should, instead of being 4 years, I think it ought to be 5 years. And I think, you shouldn't graduate. Well, of course, you'd have to eventually, turn those monsters out. But, the 5th year could be partial, working and sort of an apprenticeship or something where people. But they ought to learn things that they need, how to cook, because they may be on their own. Finances, savings, all that type of stuff. They're in desperate need of, that type of stuff. Going to Catholic schools was not a good idea because they didn't have any resources. My parents paid school tax, but that went for public schools. So my parents, of course, had to pay, extra tuition to go to a Catholic school. And, especially in grade school, the nuns would load us down with stuff to go door to door selling, I remember giant candy bars. You better have some good teeth because it was, and I think they were like $1 or something, but they were back. Well, that was back then. A candy bar, a pretty good size, was 5 cents. Now that would be $1 or something. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.